The sun rose over Trenchtown like a warning. Dust swirled along narrow alleys, scraping rooftops, and settling on tin sheets that barely shielded families from the relentless Jamaican heat. This was no ordinary neighborhood. It was a crucible. Every street corner, every shadowed doorway, every roar of a distant fight whispered a single truth. Only the sharpest, the cleverest, the boldest could survive. And in these alleys, a boy named Robert Nesta Marley began to forge himself in fire. The ALLEYS teach survival. Trenchtown was alive with contradiction, music and violence, laughter and fear, hope and despair, all intertwined. Bob learned quickly, the world outside was indifferent. The neighborhood was harsh, bullies roamed freely. Adults struggled under colonial law, poverty and crime. Every day was a test, every encounter a lesson. Yet within this chaos, there was rhythm, the heartbeat of Trenchtown. Drums, shouts, makeshift instruments clanging, voices singing in the streets. Bob absorbed it all. Every sound was a story, every rhythm a message, every song a survival tool. Here, music became resistance, and resistance became instinct. FRANDS and MENTORS. Bob's world was populated by a tight-knit band of misfits and dreamers. Junior Braithwaite, his first harmony partner, whose sharp voice cut through the street's noise. Peter Tosh, whose fiery words made Bob understand courage is more than a feeling, it is action. Neville Bunny Wailer Livingston, disciplined and thoughtful, who taught Bob that music requires patience as much as passion. Together they were raw, hungry, and unpolished, but every rooftop, alleyway, and crowded backyard became a stage for their voices. The first songs of rebellion. Bob's earliest compositions were not polished songs. They were urgent cries, written on scraps of paper, sung in hidden corners, performed on makeshift instruments. Lyrics addressed poverty, injustice, stolen heritage, and the struggle to survive. The music itself was an improvisation. Ska, mento, and early reggae fused instinctively. Mistakes were lessons. Failed performances were ammunition for growth. Bob discovered something crucial. Music was not just sound. It was power, identity, and defiance. Even then, he knew that what he sang could ignite the streets. Long before the world would recognize him. The harsh LESSONS of TRNCHTOWN. The streets taught him pain and observation. Gangs fought over territory. Bob learned to navigate danger without joining battles. Adults struggled under colonial rule and poverty. He saw how oppression shapes daily life. Friends betrayed one another, families lost their way. He realized resilience required discipline and focus. Every encounter sharpened him. Every threat honed his instincts. By age 15, Bob was alert, aware, and calculating, a boy with the soul of a revolutionary, yet the innocence of youth still intact.